Can you believe it? Germany, once seen as Europe's unstoppable economic giant, is now facing a crisis that many people never imagined possible. For the first time in decades, the country is no longer attracting enough people to offset its natural population decline. Entire cities are shrinking, industries are struggling, and millions are quietly considering leaving in search of better opportunities. What's happening in Germany in 2026 is not just an economic slowdown. It's the slow unraveling of a system that once looked invincible. Across the country, former industrial powerhouses are turning into aging, silent cities where the young disappear, businesses close, and hope becomes harder to find. Today, we'll explore the German city standing on the edge of decline and uncover why many people believe the country's golden era may be coming to an end. Let's begin in Dortmund, once the proud steel heart of the Ruhr region. For generations, this city symbolized German industrial strength. But in 2026, Dortmund is struggling with population decline, an aging society, and a shrinking economy. Young workers are leaving because salaries in other countries are often far higher, while businesses complain about slow bureaucracy and rising costs. Many local shops are disappearing, public infrastructure is aging, and entire neighborhoods are becoming quieter every year. Dortmund still carries the image of a powerful industrial city, but underneath that image, the foundations are weakening fast. The biggest fear is simple: what happens when a city built for workers no longer has enough workers left? But Dortmund is not alone. In Leipzig, a city once celebrated as Germany's creative paradise, the dream is also fading. For years, Leipzig attracted young artists, students, and startups because of its cheap rents and energetic atmosphere. People even nicknamed it Leipzig, because everyone wanted to move there. Now the situation is changing. Housing costs have risen sharply, young families struggle to find childcare and healthcare services, and many residents are beginning to leave. While luxury apartments continue to appear, some neighborhoods already feel emptier than before. The city still looks modern on the surface, but many people feel the energy that once made Leipzig special is slowly disappearing. Then there is Chemnitz, one of the clearest examples of Germany's aging crisis. In some districts, silence has replaced the sounds of young families and busy streets. Many young people openly say they plan to leave after finishing school or university because they no longer believe the city offers a future. Businesses are struggling to replace retiring workers, apartment vacancies are growing, and the population continues getting older. Cheap rent alone is no longer enough to attract new residents. People want opportunity, stability, and optimism, and many believe Chemnitz is losing all three. Next comes Magdeburg, where the crisis feels strangely contradictory. Thousands of apartments remain empty, yet modern housing shortages still exist. New projects continue being announced, but many residents feel disconnected from the city's future. At the same time, high-skilled workers are leaving Germany for countries like Switzerland and Austria, searching for better wages and lower taxes. Local businesses are closing, shopping streets are losing activity, and the middle class increasingly feels trapped between rising living costs and declining economic confidence. The same pattern appears in Halle. Population decline there has created entire neighborhoods where empty apartments and closed shops dominate the landscape. Educated workers are leaving, healthcare services are struggling, and many social support systems are under enormous pressure. What makes Halle especially painful is the feeling of abandonment. Residents often believe their city has been left behind while investment flows elsewhere. Schools close because there are not enough children, hospitals face staff shortages, and communities slowly lose the connections that once held them together. And then we arrive in Gelsenkirchen, a city that perfectly represents the collapse of Germany's old coal economy. Once proud of its industrial identity, the city now struggles with deep poverty, unemployment, and social frustration. Many traditional businesses have vanished, replaced by discount stores, welfare offices, and empty commercial buildings. Families are increasingly forced to choose between heating their homes or paying for basic necessities. Crime and social tension are rising, while anger toward political leaders continues growing. For many residents, the issue is not only economic decline, it's the feeling that their future has disappeared completely. Meanwhile, Cottbus reflects another side of Germany's transformation, the painful shift away from coal and traditional industry. Politicians promised that green energy jobs would replace old industrial employment, but many workers feel those promises have not materialized fast enough. As coal facilities close, skilled workers continue leaving for larger cities, while younger generations see fewer reasons to stay. Empty factories and declining local businesses have created a growing sense of uncertainty about what the city will become in the future. In Gera, the story is one of neglect. Since German reunification, many residents feel their city has slowly faded from national attention. Wages remain low, investment remains weak, and population decline continues year after year. The streets are still maintained, parks are still cleaned, but many people feel the soul of the city is disappearing. Public buildings stand half empty, shopping areas lose more businesses every year, and entire districts seem trapped between memory and decline. But perhaps the biggest warning sign comes from Wolfsburg, the city built around Germany's automotive industry. For decades, Volkswagen represented German engineering excellence and economic power. Yet the global shift toward electric vehicles and growing competition from China are creating enormous pressure. Thousands of automotive jobs are now considered at risk. Suppliers are struggling, investments are slowing, and many workers fear their skills may no longer fit the future economy. Wolfsburg still depends heavily on one industry, and that dependence now looks more dangerous than ever before. Finally, we reach Bremerhaven, where economic decline collides with environmental fear. As global shipping slows and climate concerns grow, many residents worry about rising sea levels and the future of coastal living itself. Businesses connected to maritime trade are under pressure, insurance costs continue climbing, and some families are already considering moving inland. What was once a symbol of German trade and maritime strength is now facing uncertainty from both the economy and nature. So what do all these cities have in common? Different industries. Different histories. Different locations. Yet the same fears keep appearing everywhere: aging populations, disappearing jobs, rising living costs, shrinking communities, and uncertainty about the future. Germany remains one of the world's strongest economies, but these cities reveal the cracks beneath the surface. The country that once symbolized stability is now facing difficult questions about energy policy, industrial transformation, migration, demographics, and the future of work itself. The biggest danger may not be economic decline alone, but the slow loss of confidence. Because when young people stop believing in their hometowns, businesses stop investing, and communities begin to shrink, recovery becomes far more difficult. So here's the question. Are these cities temporary victims of global change, or are they early warnings of a much larger crisis facing Europe's industrial future? And which city do you believe still has the best chance to recover?